Menage, Dirty for the Lions, a shifter menage. Written by Cynthia Mendoza. Narrated by Marie Smith. Chapter 1. Josephine L'amour preferred that people call her Jo. Much to her Parisian parents' dismay, she had never been much for flourishes and frills. Her parents blamed it on her American upbringing. Jo blamed it on their being old-fashioned. They butted heads frequently. Fortunately for Jo, she had her own apartment now. Of course, it wasn't far from her parents' two-story townhome, and it sat just a quick car ride away from the National Zoo where Jo worked. As their only child, Mr. and Mrs. L'amour had no intentions of letting Jo pursue an adult life without taking them along for the ride. This was a fact that Jo had grown tired of before she turned 18, and one that now she was 25, she found almost completely unbearable. "Josephine, are you coming to eat with your papa and I tonight? I got a nice piece of salmon. I know it's your favorite." Josephine's mother's thickly accented words made her cringe. "Mama, I told you that I had to work late tonight. I just won't be finished in time for dinner. I'm sorry," Jo said, relieved that for once she had a legitimate excuse to get out of dinner at her parents'. "Darling, we can wait for you. We are European, you know. We are used to eating late," her mother insisted. "Really, Mama, I don't know how long I will be. Please don't wait on my account," Jo said. Her mother sighed audibly. "I miss the days when you lived at home with us, Josephine," she said. Jo rolled her eyes. She got this guilt trip every time she had to cancel plans or refuse an invitation from her mother. For most people, this wouldn't happen too often, but Jo's mother offered an invitation at least 4 times a week, often more. "I know, me too, but I have to make my own life, Mama. I'm 25, Jo said, trying to appease her mother. "I know how old you are, Josephine. I was there when you were born," her mother said, now cycling from sadness to anger. "Yes, Mama," Jo said, staring out of her office window. "I'm sorry, but I really have to get back to work." "Fine, you go ahead. Your father and I will just eat alone, like lonely old people without any children," Jo's mother said. Jo wanted to laugh. The dramatics this afternoon were really top-notch. "Okay, Mama, I will call you later in the week," Jo said, knowing full well that her mother would call her tomorrow. She called every day. "I might be busy then," her mother lied spitefully. "Okay, well, I'm sure I will talk to you soon," Jo said, trying desperately to get her mother off the phone. "Unless I die before then," her mother said. "At my age, you never know which day is going to be your last." Jo refused to get sucked into this kind of manipulative conversation. Her mother was barely 60, and in better health than most 30-year-olds Jo knew. "Yes, Mama. Well, I will talk to you soon, unless you die before then," Jo said, smirking. Her mother was quiet for a few moments. "Okay?" "Fine. I will talk to you some other time when you actually have time for your mother," Jo's mother said. "Okay, Mama. I love you. Au revoir." Jo put the phone down before her mother could try to suck her back into conversation. It wasn't that she had anything terribly pressing to do, but rather that she preferred to spend the rest of her lunch hour not being manipulated into a salmon steak dinner. "Hey, Jo." There was a quick knock at her office door as Curtis Stevens spoke. "I was wondering if you had a minute." Jo spun her chair away from the window. When she laid eyes on Curtis, she smiled softly. "Anything for a well-dressed man, Curtis," she said. He smiled back at her and stepped into her office. "So I was wondering how you feel about traveling," he asked as he pulled out the chair across from her and sat down. "Traveling?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?